not working.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Bumbershoot, where we're covering life's chaos with humor and heart. And today, I am not in Temecula. I am in Georgia. I'm in Woodstock, Georgia. Isn't Woodstock a little bird from Peanuts?
I always think of it as the music festival.
Oh, okay.
My face
Well,
is already red.
the voice you're hearing, I am out in Georgia because on Wednesday of last week, I flew into Georgia to see my girl Gina Marie, Fregoso Vitamonte, however you know her. If you don't know her,
Next to be
next to be determined. So Gina left me 5 years ago, six years ago.
This month.
And moved to Georgia, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But so Brandy, my sister, that you guys, if you've listened to the last 30 or so, you've heard Brandy. Brandy's my younger sister, and she turned 50. It's so weird. So she's Dad's youngest daughter, and she turned 50 this weekend on Friday. So she wanted to celebrate in Nashville. So it was her and her husband, her two daughters, another couple that I'd met once or twice. And then unfortunately her best friend Chloe and her husband Dave couldn't come because Dave's dad was very sick and it didn't look good. So we didn't hear of an update, but prayers to Chloe and Dave and for what they're going through. And I know it was a big disappointment for Brandy. Obviously she understood. But so we had 8 of us in Nashville. Mm-hmm. So I took advantage of coming to see my bestie down in Georgia and then driving up, because it's, how long is it?
3 hours. But I also said, if you're going to Nashville, I'm going with you.
That's right. That might have been the trigger for the trip.
I invited myself, because I literally said, if you're going to Nashville, I'm going with you.
That's true. And then I was like, well, why don't I just come down and stay with you? Yeah, that's probably how it happened. But I do always, it's so hard because I get to go to Italy. I don't want to say I get to go to Italy. And now with Logan being there, it's like more than the normal times per year. And then I have family that went from Rhode Island down to Florida. So now I have a trip there. And so it makes it really hard when my friends move to other states, because then I want to go see them and stuff. So this was like the perfect marriage of bestie time and sister bestie time for her 50th, celebrating her. So yes. And Brandy, very welcoming.
Brandy was amazing.
Included you. Yes. So flew in. Okay, so let's just talk about, we're going to take you back, but we're going to just start from this weekend, but we'll take you back in a little bit. But what happened when I had my flight scheduled for 9:36 on Wednesday, and I was supposed to get here, what time was that? Like 3:30 or something like that?
No, actually you're supposed to get here at 5:30, because I was like, perfect. That works out right after
work.
Yeah,
right after work, you could come down and get me. So when I scheduled this flight, though, you were working from home.
Correct.
And now you have a new job that takes you into the office.
Correct.
So that kind of sucked, but it's okay. It all worked out. So I was supposed to leave at 9:30, and then I checked in the day before, 24 hours before. And then the morning of, I got up at 6:30 to get ready. So Luca stayed the night so he could get up early with me and take me down, because Alex had gone to Thailand. Logan's in Milano. Charlie's going to Georgia. Charlie going to Georgia. Luca was the only one that was going to be at home base. So anyways, Luca was taking me to the airport. So he was very happy to hear that my flight got delayed to 11. So we had a couple of more hours. So I let him sleep. And then I was like, okay, it's time to get up. Let's get ready. Oops, my flight got delayed to 1. Oops. So I go, well, let me go down to the office. I'll get some hours in. And I had been gone a lot last week. And so went down to the office, got work done, left to go home. And as I was working, I was getting, your flight's delayed to 1:36. Your flight delays to 2. My flight got delayed to 3:30. So Luke and I left about 1:15, head down to the airport. Now, you have to know something about me. I've flown my whole life. I have no problem flying. I'm not afraid to fly. But a few good years ago, I got stuck in the back of the plane. Well, not stuck. Alex likes to board first, and our seats were the very last seats in the plane. And then everybody stands up all around you. So Alex, I was boarding first for his sake. We get in the back of the plane. Everyone's standing up on the plane and I'm claustrophobic. So all of a sudden, like the whole plane was coming in on me. And I started getting in my head and totally getting like psyched out about being claustrophobic. And then in the back of the plane is the bathroom. So everybody like has to go to the bathroom. They stand in line and crowd you at the back of the plane. Mm-hmm. So now I'm more claustrophobic there.
That's how you became claustrophobic on planes?
Well, yeah, because I was always claustrophobic, but this was what triggered me on the plane.
Big time.
Yeah.
The medicine time.
Yes. So we were going from Puerto Rico, back to Florida, and then Florida, I have to say Florida, because my East Coast people say it. Tommy, Luigi. Anyway, so that was the flight from Puerto Rico to Florida. So then we get off in Florida and I'm kind of freaked out. Now I'm like, oh, in my head. I saw Eric Trump in the airport back then. And this was like long before Trump was president. And Eric Trump wasn't known, but I watched The Apprentice. So I knew who he was. And so that's Gina's dog downstairs. We tried to isolate ourselves, but it's really hard to isolate ourselves from her dogs. Her 3 dogs. Don't even get me started. Her 3 dogs. If you know me, I'm a dog respecter, but a dog lover.
I'm not a dog lover either.
I know. But our friendship has been as we have overcome. So anyway, all I had to say that when I had a couple glasses of wine, got back on the plane, and I was freaking out, and I was like praying, but the more I prayed about it, the more I was in my head about the fact that I was freaking out. And I literally thought about if I freak out, I could jump out the exit door. That's where I went in my head on this particular flight. So the only thing that kept me from jumping, I feel like, is because I thought, what if somebody else is having a hard time and then I'm going to screw them? Because if I jump out on the tarmac,
they're jumping.
Then they'll get stuck on the tarmac forever. So anyways, it was a big thing. So when I got home, my mom goes, don't worry, there's Ativan. And so Ativan, and now I took that for a long time. And then I started flying business class and that helps a lot. So I didn't need it as much as time went on. Anyway, all that to say that when I got on the plane at 3:45, we were supposed to take off, I fell asleep thinking, let me get sleep in. That way I'll get through this flight without any problem. I woke up, we were still on the tarmac at 4:30.
Which is 7:30 my time.
Right.
Which I had been up since 4 a.m. Let's talk about that. Okay.
Why were you up at 4:30?
To go work out because I wanted to make sure like I got my workout, my cardio, I got everything in before I had to get you from the airport at 5:30.
Right. Okay. So there's that. So then we didn't take off till 4:45, which is
7:45 Georgia time.
Which puts me in at 11:45 Georgia time.
But by the time you get off the flight
and look for the luggage carousel that I couldn't find because I hightailed it. So if you've ever been to Atlanta in the airport, okay, first of all, I was on Alaskan. I never fly Alaskan ever. Like, I think I've flown it one other time. For some reason at the Atlanta airport, it's at the farthest terminal that was ever created. And so I'm hightailing. I was sitting in first class because of all so when I tried to book it, there was no first class available. But because it got postponed like 6-7 times, by the time I checked in, there was first class available. So I upgraded for only like 100 and what did I say?
Like $60 or something.
$160?
Nothing, yeah.
So I was on the front of the plane. So I get my stuff. I'm not a lollygagger. I'm a really fast walker and I hightail it. And I know Gina's there. I know she's been waiting. I'm looking for the luggage carousel. The lady clearly told me to. So when I go down to the luggage carousel, none of the screens are on because electricity's off. And nothing's coming out on the luggage carousel. So I'm calling Gina. I go, I don't understand why I can't figure this out. There's nobody here to help me because it's so late. Yada, yada, yada. So what was it, like a half an hour maybe?
Probably 12:30 at this point.
Yes, it was so late. But before I called you, what happened to you?
So I was super tired because I had been up since 4 a.m. and I normally go to sleep by 10 o'clock every night. So I pulled up where it said no stopping or standing, but there was a bunch of cars and everybody else was. So I just got behind them because I thought, well, this is what we're going to do. I just set my timer because I'm the kind of person that could fall asleep within a matter of 2 minutes and sleep for a second or a minute and be fine, wake up rejuvenated. And I thought I just have to sleep because there's no way I'm going to be able to drive us home and be wide awake, even though I'm super excited Charlie's here, but whatever.
How far are you from the airport?
45 minutes.
Yeah, that's quite a drive.
So I pull up where everybody is. I put my flash on. And my car has the thing where if somebody moves in front of me, it gives me a little warning. It says beep, beep, beep. So I thought for sure I'll hear a beep, beep, beep. I set my timer for 4 minutes. Once I set it for 4 minutes, I woke up to my timer going off and a cop banging on my window. Nobody else in front of me or behind me in the line. And he said, "Ma'am, I need your driver's license and your registration." And I was like so confused. I literally had been asleep for 4 minutes, if that. And I got a ticket because he said, "You should not be parked here. This is not safe." I said, "I understand. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't know what to say."
Gina gets butt cringy when she doesn't like to get in trouble.
I don't. I don't know. I'm
I
a
don't
rule
either.
follower.
Yeah, 100%.
So
You
I
would have
said, "I'm
never done
sorry."
that if you thought that was possible.
So he's like, "I'm giving you a ticket." And I said, "I understand. I deserve a ticket. I'm sorry. I don't know what to say." He's like, "It's dangerous." I know. I said, "I'm sorry. Give me the ticket so I could go move my car."
So she's like, "I got to keep driving around. How can you not find the luggage drop?" And I'm like, "I don't know," because all those screens were out.
And I was going to get out, but I'm going to Crocs on.
Oh gosh, she wears red Crocs just like my husband. And everyone in the world's Croc haters except for these two humans. Apparently I like Croc people. Anyway, so finally the luggage starts dropping. And normally, I will say, like 80% of the time, my luggage is like the first to drop. Not in this case, because, the universe knew that you were waiting and they just wanted you to wait.
And I was tired.
And they wanted you to wait. So anyway, it ended up coming. I go out, we find each other. And normally when we encounter each other after not seeing each other, it's a whole thing. Like the whole airport knows that we haven't seen each other in years or whatever, months or whatever it was. But we didn't even have the energy. We were like, hug, happy to see each other, get in the car. She's like, oh. And we make it home. The house is asleep. Jonah, her daughter, is sleeping. And we definitely came home and said hi. And she was like, hi. She was a little grouchy. And then she left in the morning and didn't say goodbye to me, by the way. She might be in the room listening. So anyway, but then we headed to Nashville and we had a blast. Brandy and Dan just treated everybody to everything.
Amazing.
He said,
absolutely amazing.
That's all Brandy wanted, and she was happy. And the girls, my nieces, were a hoot and a half.
That's fun.
If you want to check that out, you can follow me on Instagram, CJ Charity Jane. You can see story after story. I won't get into the whole weekend, but it was a blast. And then Gina and I came back yesterday night, which is kind of like last night, but it was more day. Mm-hmm. And in Georgia at 9 o'clock, it's light out still. So we got on last night, and then she went to work this morning, and I hung out with the girls, which was cute. And then now we're doing this tonight while our beef stroganoff's cooking.
That we co-cooked. Because apparently
I had to help her.
I don't use olive oil or salt and pepper.
Or salt. I didn't even use pepper. It was just salt and olive oil. Those are like the two bare necessity ingredients. And I said, "Gee, did you use olive oil?" She goes, "Olive oil spray." And I said, "Did you use salt?" "No, I don't use salt except in my water." "Well, why is it by the stovetop?" I don't know.
So, because I put it in my pasta. And every now and then I'll put like a little drizzle if my recipe calls for it. But I don't.
Oh, well.
Just think without.
If you talk to me.
Now I know.
That's how to put. I said, okay.
Julie might like onions after today.
Yeah, she cooked the onions so she followed the recipe. I will give her that. But I would have cooked the onions and then added the ground beef. She did the ground beef and then added the onions. And then when she took it out, she was draining it. I was like, first of all, she did equal parts onion and ground beef.
I like onions, so does G. Jill doesn't.
So I was like, that's definitely not going to work because those onions are not cooked enough. So I sat for how long?
Probably like 25 minutes, literally.
I separated the ground beef from so much onion. And once I got it to like where it was pretty good separated, I recooked the onions with olive oil and salt, and then I had the girls taste them, and they loved it, didn't you?
They were very good. They were
Yes.
like
candy. It's like candy. You could eat like candy.
Cute
So
little
we added a
candy.
little bit back into our mix, and now we're gonna have stroganoff in a little bit. But I want to take you back. I want to take them back to. So I first knew you when you were how old? Because we're 5 years apart.
So I would guess probably I was in 7th or 8th grade. I'm thinking, right? Because that was like Carrie. Yeah. So like
Carrie Broccoli.
In middle school. It was middle school for sure.
But I wasn't in middle school. You were
in middle school? I was.
I said I wasn't in middle school.
No, I was in middle school. And it wasn't 6th grade because I went to Catholic school for 6th and then I went to middle school for 7th.
Oh, that explains so much.
Mm-hmm. I only went to Catholic school for middle school because I was afraid.
What Catholic school?
Paula. It was Paula Mission.
Oh, wow.
Back in the day.
All right. Well, a lot of things just clarified in this friendship. You know about those Catholic schoolgirls, right? Only took 1 year.
No, I went elementary
how many years?
too.
Oh, okay. Well,
I went.
Look at the things you don't know about your bestie.
Kinder through 2nd, I think. I would ask my mom, but she's not here.
Aw.
I think I went kinder through 2nd, and then I was afraid to start middle school, and I went 6th grade, and then I had a dream about this kid. I'm not going to say his name because he's a Temecula kid. And I had a dream about him that he said, Gina, you need to come back to middle school. And I woke up, I swear to God, I woke up that morning in 6th grade, and I was like, Mom, I think I want to go 7th grade at Margarita Middle. And I did. And then my field trip, for my field trip that year, he liked me.
That's amazing. Wow. Wow. So I'm curious about all the rest of your dreams and how those played out.
No. That was okay. That's the only dream. That's all we're going to talk about.
So when you went to middle school, you met Carrie.
Yeah, well, Carrie lived behind me.
Oh, yes.
I met Carrie
Meadowview.
like in, elementary. Carrie lived behind me.
So Carrie, who we're talking about, my mom and Carrie's mom, Linda, who's with your mom in heaven. Mm-hmm. My mom and Linda became really close. And so we became family friends. And Carrie, Linda's oldest, was Gina's age, which was 3 years younger than my youngest sister, Brandy, and 5 years younger than me. So Gina's 5 years younger than me. So when 3
years? No, Brandy's only a year younger.
A year older.
Yeah.
So you're 4 years. No, Gina's 4 years. Michelle's 5 years. That's why I always get confused.
Oh, of you. Yes.
Yes. Gina's 4 years younger than me. Okay. So she was a freshman when I was a senior.
I was.
You were.
Correct.
She as in you. Mm. Okay. So anyway, but just to just to clear things up or clarify, I was in high school when I knew her, which when you're in middle school and high school, it's a very big age difference.
Yes.
So I knew Gina, but I knew her as like Carrie's best friend. And so I didn't really know her, nor did I know her. Like I didn't hang out with her. So fast forward to what year was it? 90.
Well, I was 20 because I wasn't 21 yet.
All right. So and you're 49. Well, you'll be 49 next month. So what year was that?
94. Oh, I can't do math.
Everybody do the math. I can't either. And I always do that on here.
I was 20.
Okay, 20. Figure it out. Okay. And she's 48. So 48. It was 28 and a half years ago, whatever. Anyway, so I'm working at Toyota, which I don't even know if I ever brought that. Probably because when I talked to Michelle, we talked about it. And then Gina got hired on as
receptionist.
And there was some like shift in the universe when Charity and Gina met. Mm-hmm. And nobody liked it. And nobody likes it. Nobody likes it. But it was like crazy magnetic like friendship.
We were like, you're Charity? Oh, I'm Gina. Like you should know me. Oh, you don't know me. You don't know me.
We know each other. We definitely know each other. No, but then I was single at the time, which is hard to believe because I was barely ever single. Mm-hmm. And you were single at the time.
Well, I was 20. Yeah.
Well, I was 18 and married, so there's that.
True.
But anyway, yeah, so we were single at the same time. I was dating somebody, but then we broke up, I think, or maybe while we were friends, like while our friendship kindled. I don't know. I don't remember the whole play out. But nonetheless, Remember when we went to San Diego? And
We
the
climbed
boat?
the fence.
The boat? Mm-hmm. What happened that day?
So we went. You had liked a guy, right? That we went down there with, but then we got on the boat and Charity got the ick, and so we were like, we gotta get out of here. But we were on a marina, correct?
Where there's like a
where there's the
gate.
fence and the lock, and so we said we're gonna go to the bathroom real quick. They thought on the boat, but we didn't, and we literally climbed the fence.
To escape.
Ran. They didn't have Ubers back then.
No.
They didn't have Ubers.
No.
I don't know how we got out of there.
We
I just know
ran. Well, first we were in Gaslamp and we went out with them and he was starting to kind of ick us then, wasn't he? Or did he find us in Gaslamp? I don't remember. It was kind of crazy.
All I remember is just being, and it was bad. And so we ran.
Gina is, I have to say, like, she just said to me before we started the podcast, she's like, oh my gosh, the things you make me do. And I have said this before and I will say it again. Like, I do have friends that I put to the test a lot.
This is way out of my comfort zone. My face is red and no one can see me, and my face is red.
You're doing fantastic. I knew you would. Anyway, so that was one thing. Then I remember, like, I mean,
let's talk about when we made Brandy mad. So we were in Newport Beach.
I was just gonna go there. Go Hill.
We were in Newport Beach. I don't know what brought us there, but we were down in Newport on the peninsula, and we went to
Goat Hill Tavern.
Uh-huh. And we decided we were both, again, before Ubers, that we were both going to get hammered.
And both single.
And we were both single. We were legit dancing on a pool table, crossing across pool tables.
Dancing on the bar.
Crawling across pool tables. Finally, the bartender's like, girls. No, I think we realized like we were about to this wasn't a good situation. So then Charity calls Brandy and says,
Brandy's like the mom of the group. She's really fun, but she also can, if she's not having fun, she's a mom.
But I will say,
even though she's 2 years younger,
I've decided that after this weekend, how are Brandy and I not best friends compared to you and I? Because Brandy and I are so similar.
Yes, I know, it's kind of weird. But anyways, I do love her so much. So
I know.
Maybe that's
why.
Yeah.
So we called Brandy. Brandy came. She was not happy, but she came.
And cousin Wes, didn't they come together and so that one could drive the car home?
Yes. Is that
a different time?
No. I think cousin Wes came. Brandy was all I remember is sitting in the back seat and I was like, we are in trouble. Mom is so mad at us right now.
Oh, no, that was when she came alone. I don't know what it was. But anyway, we ended up sleeping in her roommate's bed and it was so comfortable. It was like
I don't remember sleeping. I just remember being in trouble. That's all I remember. I was like, I'm going to be on my best behavior right now.
I feel like we got in trouble a lot.
We did.
I mean, with just randomness.
Then there was one time we drove home from Hollywood, remember? And we were so tired. The Ryan Seacrest.
Was it? Oh, yeah. Wait, tell that story.
We went, I don't remember what,
Gina was in love.
I still am.
Oh,
I mean,
I didn't know that. I could have totally hooked you up.
No, I'm not really in love with him. I think I want to be friends with, so Ryan Seacrest. But that was back in my heyday. Heyday.
Your heyday.
I was married. Okay, anyways.
Your heyday.
Gigi was just born and I was obsessed with Ryan. Obsessed with Ryan Seacrest. And
listen to him every morning and actually tried to call in.
No, I did call in.
Pretty much every morning.
Feeding Gianna in the back seat the Smarties candy so she would keep quiet because I was going on the air with Ryan Seacrest because I knew when to call so I could be on the air.
She went on the air more than once with Ryan.
No, I swear. I remember pulling into that little liquor store on Ivy in Marietta so that way you'd be quiet. And I was just feeding her Smarties at 6:30 in the morning. I swear. I'm not kidding.
Oh my God.
I don't even know where I was going. Oh, so anyways, Ryan Seacrest was on the cover of GQ with him and Bill Murray, right? Is that the guy?
I don't know.
Not Bill Murray. I don't know. Who's you would know. He's like
Bill
the
Maher?
political guy.
Bill Maher.
Okay, yeah, whatever.
Bill Murray is definitely not political. Bill Maher.
That shows what I know about politics.
Okay.
Bill Maher. So
anyway, they're both as short as each other.
He was on, so Charity's like, somehow you had connections and we got tickets to go to that thing. And I was determined. I was like, oh my God.
She's like, she was like, I will fall in love. He's my one.
I
What
did.
is it? What do they call the?
He's my hall pass.
You're a
And
hall pass.
I even told, I was married
You're
at
like,
the time.
I would leave you for
Yeah.
Ryan if he wants
I
me.
was married at the time, and I said, I'm probably
Which is
not coming home tonight.
Really what should have happened.
I said, I'm probably not coming home tonight. Ryan's going to want me to come to his house. Like, bottom line, I put makeup on. I did smoky eyes. I don't wear makeup. I had like the smoky eye. Remember? Because you said, no, I said, I even wear smoky eyes after.
Yes,
So anyways,
after you did.
we see Ryan and
She
we
wouldn't-
go up to him. I wouldn't go up to him.
No,
because
it was like there was a wall, like an
hold
invisible
on.
wall.
But this is where we should have known way back then that I have no game.
You don't have game, that's for sure.
So this is where we should have known I have no game. So we see Ryan and I say, Charity's like, go. And I said, I can't.
She couldn't talk. She couldn't walk. She couldn't anything. And he was right there.
Right.
And I go, he's right there. It's now or never. Go. You can do it. You can do it. She's like, I can't do it. I can't.
And I said, rah. And nothing came out of my mouth. And he was right there. And I couldn't even talk to him.
She wouldn't even go to the rope, like where he was.
I should have known back then. I have nothing. I got nothing. I have no game.
As much, if you even understood half of how much she was obsessed with him, this would make no sense to you. I am not kidding you. Like, to even just say, can I get a picture with you? Because I've been in love with you my whole life. Or don't even say that. Just get next, like go stand in front of him so I was like, let me just go take a picture of you. And she wouldn't do it.
Okay, so
She
that was
died.
that.
That was that. And there was a lot of other stories. I don't know, like there's too many stories to count and too many to share. But there was other, so Gina, so actually we were both single and then we both got married. Mm-hmm. You got married before me. Mm-hmm. You married your high school. No, your high school. He wasn't your high school.
I married someone from high school.
You married someone that went to high school with us. Mm-hmm.
He would be like my high school hookup. Let's just call it that.
Okay. Let's just really call it what it is.
Yeah,
okay. And I knew him because he was one of my best friend in high school's brother's bestie.
Best friend.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I already knew him. So it was like kind of fun. I didn't really know him well enough to know if he was like right for you or anything, but they ended up getting married and we weren't hanging out as much when you guys started dating and stuff.
Correct. Because I got married before you, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then, but this was the second time that I got married. This is what we're talking about. And then, yeah, I got married to that second person, and we didn't hang out really at that point
for a bit.
Not that we ever lost complete touch.
No, we didn't lose touch. I'm trying to think how we got back in touch.
I don't know because then you came to work at Spuntino with me.
No,
but something before that brought us back together, and that was before Gianna.
Way before G.
So before the Ryan Seacrest episode. I don't remember what it was, but nonetheless.
Oh, I think I know what it was. To be honest with you.
What?
No. I was gonna say it was when I worked at Beneficial and did mortgages, and then Brenda and I saw each other. Like Brenda and I saw each other, and we got in the car. But somehow you knew Brenda, and I knew Brenda. But I think that's when we all started hanging out.
But then also Allison, remember AAA? Was it AAA?
It was before AAA.
Well, because then Allison and you and I did the first reality rally together, so we were hanging out then.
I would like to say I am responsible for you and Allison's friendship because I did not navigate that, but orchestrate that. Yeah, because I knew she always wanted a Diet Coke and wine.
Oh my gosh!
And then I'd be like, Charity, come say hi to Allison. This is Allison and Mike. And
because she ate at Spuntino.
They ate at Spuntino's all the time.
Yes.
So I am very responsible for that best friendship, and I'm very proud of it.
Well, Allison makes fun, and Allison, I'm not talking on you, but I am talking that she won't come on this. Well, she says that I've only invited her once, and it was last minute, so maybe she will come on, but she says, like, she knows that every time I would forget that I would always ask her, oh, you have a son the same age as my son. Oh, where is he going to elementary school? And then she's like, it was like talking to 2-Second Tom. Like every time we came in, you asked the same exact question. So anyway, we'll let Allison elaborate on that. But
I don't remember how we got back together.
I don't either, but the point is that we did. Got back together. And then Gina
was that Over the Line days? No, that was Toyota.
Oh, yeah. We used to play Over the Line in San Diego. That was Toyota days. There was a lot of Toyota stuff. That's how Michelle, like I got close to Michelle too. And so we all have these
I don't remember.
like legs, like it's all a tree of friendship. But anyway, we did really good at, well, no, we didn't do that good at Overline. We would go like a couple rounds.
So sorry. This would be Jenna's dog that I've
Jenna's dog.
inherited. This is so cute.
Yes. Well, it's kind of a horse dog. Yes. Anyway, so Gina came, I don't remember why, but maybe you just wanted to like start working. I don't know what happened.
No,
you were working.
Close. I don't remember how we got.
She came to work at Spuntino and took some serving shifts, and she was literally, sorry, all you Spuntino people that don't listen to this podcast, but she was the best server we ever had. You made good money.
I did make good money. I knew what everybody wanted right when they said
yeah.
that. I didn't have
You
to get
met
their drink orders.
so many customer friends of ours and built tons of relationships, and that's how you, like, Allison was one of them.
Thank you. You're welcome.
And her son was in love with you, little Tyler.
Oh, he was.
In love with you. Yes. So anyway, and then let's fast forward a little bit, and then you got pregnant unexpectedly.
I don't know. It wasn't unexpectedly.
The first one?
With G?
No. With you miscarried.
Okay, no, but I had wanted. Jenna and Jillian were 3 and 4, and we would be sitting at a table like to eat dinner.
Yeah, she always says this. They're sitting at a table and there's a missing person. I remember this,
and I'd be like looking around like one of my kids was missing, and finally I had said, "I'm not done. I need another kid."
I, for some reason, thought it was like a whoops, and then you decided that
I was like, I'm not done. I need another kid. Get me a puppy or a baby. We got the puppy.
It didn't satisfy you?
Did not satisfy me, and I was like, still not done. I want a kid.
Okay.
So tried to have Gianna 2 times, had 2 miscarriages. Not 2 times, but obviously tried to have
While
G.
you were still working for me.
I was working for you.
Yep.
Had 2 miscarriages with G, or before G.
With me, I'll say no.
Yeah. And
we
then,
rolled silverware together.
We were together. And then finally.
Oh, for the love of dogs!
There must be a deer. There's a deer.
Gina lives where the deers are literally in her neighborhood. We saw a cute little fawn, like Bambi. Seriously.
Okay. So anyways, I got pregnant with G. And then I kind of just separated myself from everybody and everything because I was like, this is what I want.
Well,
I wanted to,
how long? Like 3 months maybe you worked and then you stopped or something.
And everybody at that point was pretty much where my kids' ages were. Their kids were that age, like 7, 8 years old. So everyone was kind of done with the baby stage. So I was like, whatever, I don't care. I wanted G. Like nothing else mattered in the world to me.
And I was still around in the early days of you.
But then I got boring, and I did become a hermit. I will admit it.
Well, and Gina used to have a big problem with flaking.
No, I did. Oh. I forgot about how much I was a flake. I'm so good now.
I have to share a story that this might be why the friends resent you a little bit.
I hate this story. You're right.
Because my 40th birthday was my Greece birthday, which I've talked about.
I was at the Greece birthday.
I know. Settle down. I'm about to tell it.
A different one.
No, and she was Patty Simcox because Patty Simcox was like the
whore.
No, the cheerleader best friend of Sandy.
Oh.
And we had the best time. Well, after that party, because I made everyone dress up and make everyone be in character and made everyone do all these things, which all my friends are amazing for doing, I wanted to have a thank you dinner.
This was before Stars even became around, right? Or is this?
No, this is after Stars.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Gina did do all of our surprise entertainment while she was coming to Stars for the first 4 years, maybe 5 years. Anyway, so I had a thank you dinner and everybody RSVP they could come, and I put so much like love and time, and I crafted all these things and I made the dinner, and it meant so much to me to like say thank you to all my friends for all that they did. And it was like not all the friends, but like the closer circle of friends. And Gina calls, I don't even know, it was like an hour before, not even an hour, maybe a half hour before, and says I don't even remember why you said you couldn't come. But
I remember walking outside and being like, I'm just going to call her and tell her I can't go.
She said she couldn't come, and I cried. And everyone was like, we're all here and you're crying over Gina. It was basically, can you stop breathing this way, Harley? Because your breath needs mint. The dog's breath needs a lot more than a mint. Oh my gosh, Harley.
You can smell it?
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm a little sensitive to dog breath.
Oh, I smell it now.
Anyways, so that was like really super hurtful. But then there was some other stuff that was going on in Gina's world, and then a little bit going in my world there was a little bit of undermining and sabotaging going on,
100%.
but we didn't know it.
Mm-hmm.
So just to clarify, it wasn't really us doing it in the end.
We
We
had
realized
little minions coming in, trying to do things.
Yeah, couple.
I wouldn't call them minions, but whatever it is.
Whatever the little sabotaging things
Sabotagers.
are. Yeah, we had a couple sabotagers that even tried to encroach onto like my relationship with Michelle and my relationship with other people. So it was a little rough in those days. And that kind of like set us back a little bit for a while. And then I don't really remember how, was it your mom passing and you moving here? I think that like, that is what like got us back together really close.
Was it at that point?
Yeah, because, and then there was a lot of other issues that happened. And so like, I think, I don't know, just time and when you're absent from one, maybe absence makes the heart grow fonder. Like we might have taken for granted that we were in each other's backyard.
Like, hello?
Yeah. If
you
we go
okay?
like a day or two, we're like, okay, wait, what happened?
okay?
I missed you and I love you. Yeah. So I think that like, so Gina's oldest daughter, so Gina's husband at the time took a job in Georgia. And so their oldest daughter.
January of 2019.
Okay, January 2019. Their oldest daughter was graduating high school in June of 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So the husband moved here prematurely ish. And then Gina stayed back so that the oldest could graduate. And then the younger two were still obviously in the regular, like whatever grades. And then Gina's mom, well, what was the timing of your mom?
So my mom, we were talking about moving and we gave Jillian the option because Jillian was going to be a junior
The second
in high school.
middle child.
Yeah, my middle was going to be a junior in high school. And I said, we don't have to go. She said, I want to go. So we're like, all right, cool, let's go. During that time, I couldn't imagine leaving my mom, but I was like, all right, we got this. My mom's like, okay, I'll come back and forth. But she kept saying, you're going to miss your kids. You're not going to, because she kept acting as if I was going to move without the girls.
Well, and her mom are best friends.
Yes.
Yeah, like they're
my
very
best
close.
Friend. Very, very best friend. So, on March 1st, my mom got a appendicitis attack. Is that what it was?
Like appendix burst.
Appendix burst. Anyways, went to the hospital unexpectedly. March 7th, she went under and never came out from it and then passed away on April 22nd. Jenna graduated. Okay, I'm sorry. Shed. Shoot.
That happened to me too. It's okay. Frat boy.
The girl's dad at that point had already been in Georgia from January to then, but would like come back
Working
and forth.
the scene. Apparently.
He was like coming back and forth when, it was good. And coming home. And then he, I'm sorry, I'm so, okay. Anyways, focus. And then my mom passed away April 22nd. Jenna graduated from high school in June. At that point, we had sold our house. Obviously, the movers came, packed us up. We were already too far in it for me to leave. I wasn't sure if I should leave my dad. Wasn't sure if I should leave the rest of my aunts and uncles, my brother, like everybody.
It was very hard for you.
It was everything. But I was like, all right, whatever. Like I'm gonna trust in my husband at the time and like everything we have. So I'm gonna go and do this. So we move out to Georgia, which was really hard. It was 2 months after my mom passed away. I'll never forget getting on the freeway. We drove through Hemet and I got on the 215 from Hemet and I remember feeling like, holy cow, I'm leaving my mom back here in Temecula and I'm leaving her. I'll never forget that. It was the worst feeling. But then we moved to Georgia this weekend.
Jenna moved
Yeah.
to Boise.
Well, no, Jenna drove home. Jenna drove to Georgia with us.
Oh, okay.
We moved to Georgia 6 years ago this weekend, or June 19th. Then Jenna was here for a month or two. We tried to get acclimated with life. And then at that point, we moved Jenna to Boise State. So my firstborn goes to college.
Who she's also besties
Who's
with.
also one of my very best
friends, Gina.
Who's also one of my very best friends. So move her to, I remember there's certain songs I couldn't hear. I couldn't eat. Her poor, Jenna's best friend came to stay with us, like flew from California. I had no food in the house because I was sick to my stomach that I was about to move my kid across the country. And here I am like trying to, I couldn't even grieve my mom passing away because I was trying to acknowledge everything and moving across country, plus my firstborn going to college, plus like my whole life just turned upside down. And then
turned upside down again. And then you moved her there, and she had a boyfriend.
She's had her same boyfriend, and I'm a Grammy, from her junior year in high school.
And they're still together to this day, and they have a little baby boy.
They have the cutest baby boy that I'm obsessed with.
So cute.
Yep.
And they are vagabonds, actually.
Yeah, they're just
they live here
world.
in Marietta.
They're roaming the
world.
world.
They're traveling and experiencing life. It's really cool. And I got to go to dinner with them. So the fun thing is, Gianna, the youngest, I didn't really get to know. The older ones. We would have, remember every Halloween, we would take the kids trick-or-treating.
And party. Like we had birthday parties.
Yeah, birthdays and Halloween. We all hung out when the kids were.
Logie, Luca, Jenna, Jill, like they all hung out together. But
close.
You didn't really get to know G as much as
actually
G.
Till this trip.
Until G is G.
Yes. And it doesn't take long to get to know G.
Nope.
But yeah, then during COVID, the boys and I did a road trip. And we were going to stop in Nashville. So Gina and Jill, the middle one, drove up to Nashville, met us there. We spent a few days there, had a rockin' good time.
Mm-hmm.
Little drama with the children, but they had a blast. The kids, how many? We were like...
There was like 7 kids to like 5 adults.
Yes, exactly. But the kids it was cool because they all kind of reunited and just like bonded older. And then the boys and I the boys and Jill drove the truck, and I rode with you back to Georgia 3 hours. And we stayed here overnight, or 1 or 2 nights.
Yeah, you stayed in Georgia. I think 1 night, because then we went, it was
Then we went down on the Chattahoochee.
Way down.
And yonder on the Chattahoochee. The boys and I did the whitewater rafting on the Chattahoochee. Yeah. It was really cool. But yeah, and then Gina came out for my 50th. And yeah, so we've been seeing each other. And then last year we went to Florida together, and we spent a lot together. But what happened in between there? Because she's smirking at me like you're missing kind of a big part of my whole life.
So in between there, I just happened to get divorced.
You just happened to. You became single.
Became single, but it's just been a very interesting experience for the girls and I.
Mm-hmm. You've learned, you've had strength. You have strength that you didn't know you had.
And honest to God, I will say, this is like my biggest thing, is everybody should find girlfriends like I have girlfriends, because these girls, all my girls in California, have held me up. Like I felt like they were right next to me through everything. They would pick up the phone for the past 2 years, no matter what time of day it was, and I never felt like I was alone. Because once I moved out here, I don't have friends. I don't have family.
Yeah, she went through that divorce.
I literally have nobody out here. I went through a divorce all by myself out here. The friends I thought I had, some of them remained my friends, but a lot of them are not my friends anymore, and for a good reason. But everyone should find the girlfriends that I have. But since I've gone through that, I will say beyond thankful for my friends. I realize my friends are my soulmates. 100%. It sounds weird, but
friends are important because it matters. Well, and you have there's five of us that are like your lifelines.
Yeah.
And The
I call
only
them-
thing that's hard is that she has to remember who she told what to, and then like
Yeah.
share the same thing to all
I
five.
call
of
them
us.
the board. I say I gotta put this. We need to have a board meeting because I gotta bring this to the board. Because literally at this point, I've realized I don't do anything without the board. Because
Well, and we all have
haven't made-
different. Don't we all come from a
You
little
all
bit
do.
different?
But that's the good
things.
thing about having 5, because the last choice we collectively as a board had made, I put it all out there and I said the board is 2-2 and there's one person that's going to be deciding vote, and the person I thought that was going to go one way went the other way, and I was like, okay. And then it's so fun to be like, the board always says,
Yeah, she
well,
can
wait,
tell anybody.
which one said no or which one said yes? And the board normally could call like the first
But we
2.
don't all talk to each other. There's
No.
only one time we've been on a text all together. I haven't met 2 of them.
Right.
Well, maybe I've met them, but I've never like hung out with 2 of them. So they haven't hung out
Yeah.
with me either.
Right, they don't know.
One of them's her cousin, which I have like a Gina cousin
Yes.
too. That's like one of my close
Yeah.
lifelines. And then one of them's your like,
High school bestie.
yeah. So we all came in at different times of your life, and we all have kind of different personalities and perspectives.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And her bestie from high school, actually, her husband is a bestie with Gina's ex. So that really complicated
Yeah.
things a little bit.
Well, and then my other 2 besties were.
Oh, yeah. They were college. Their husbands were college besties.
Everything's been complicated.
And then I was besties with her husband's bestie's sister. So
Right.
there's a whole lot of complication. And then obviously her cousin is like wholeheartedly only hers. So,
I
so
already know which way her vote's
yeah,
gonna
it's
swing.
always going to be
I'm
on you.
like,
We
who's
can't
got
have
my
the family
back?
was real
I
hot.
know.
But yeah, so I will say that I think for all of us it's been hard that you're so far, and I'm not sure about the rest of them. Well, one lives in Texas, the rest of us are in California, but I've tried to like, why are you there? You need to be here. You need to be with us. The girls need us, like you guys. But she's instead wanting to move farther from us into Florida when Gianna graduates. So
Yep.
I don't really know what's going to happen with this chick, but
Me
in the
either.
meantime, we're having a blast. But
the
like,
whole thing.
can we talk about how fun, like, let's just talk about it. It's okay. Let's talk about how fun it was last year when we were in Florida.
Okay.
And the one that you like, the one you thought got away when like she like was head over heels for this guy that we all knew. Well, not all of us. I knew him really well.
A lot of people, if you knew me, you knew me.
If you knew, but I mean, like, I knew him really well. And then when you liked him, I wasn't as close to you.
Yeah, you were. You were with me. Oh no.
No.
That was Josie.
I
Sorry.
mean, no, I wasn't as close to you. I knew about it, but I just wasn't living it with you.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're in Florida last year, and you guys were,
No, I got a random.
no, but I'm saying like you were divorcing or divorced.
Oh, I was divorced.
You are divorced.
Yeah.
And
Well, like it was the paperwork. I was just waiting for
that's
the
what,
judge.
yeah, it wasn't
to-
final, but it
I was
was
waiting for the judge to
was
sign
processing.
because there was a lot of
there was
stuff.
a lot
that had
going
to
on.
wait.
Yeah. There's a lot going on in Florida for us, but we had the time of our lives. But anyway, but then her little heartthrob from back in the day that she was like, oh, what, the what ifs, like we all have them.
The one that got
Don't
away.
even deny that you don't have it. Everybody has them, like what if, or the one that got away. He reaches out to her on
Out of nowhere.
Facebook.
Haven't talked to him in 25 years.
We were at a bar in Siesta Key.
As we're sitting next to another bartender.
As we were sitting next to a lot of people, and Gina was definitely a hot commodity in Siesta Key. And she starts freaking out in the middle of this bar. Like, you literally lost your ever-loving mind.
I did. I said, Char, you're never going to believe this.
No, you can't believe it. And then I was like, I couldn't believe it because I couldn't believe
There's
it
no
for
way
a
character
reason.
or person,
Mhm.
yeah.
And he had moved on. They both had moved on almost simultaneously, like within a year of each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then he was going through it, and she had already gone through it. So he like saw that we were together and reached out, right? Is that what happened?
Yeah, you followed both of us.
So it was like
then.
safe because
Uh-huh.
she was with me,
He's
and so it was like,
oh, hey.
yeah. So she was freaking out. So anyway, it
I've
just
been waiting for this to end.
oh, it was like when when you turn the oven, the stovetop on, and you got it on like simmer, so she was like simmering, and then it went on like high, and actually like threw oil in it when he texted her. And then it kind of went back to a simmer. But I will say that it's kind of satisfying to like put to rest the one that
100%
you thought got away, right? So it doesn't mean that you didn't, like, you still have those great memories and feelings and all the things, but you just realize the timing isn't right, and then he's not necessarily the one for you.
For a reason and a
20 something years later. I mean, 25 years puts a lot of time.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like, wow, we should have been together, and it does work out, and sometimes it doesn't. Yeah. And in this case, it didn't. Mm-hmm. But Gina, I live vicariously through Gina because she dates.
If I had game.
I mean, well, there's one of her guys that I have fun. One of her guys? Well, because it's not that you have a million. It's not like she has a lineup. I'm just saying, like, she does date, and she does.
You do like one.
There's one that I'm not about her marrying the guy.
Yeah.
But I do love the fun. I live vicariously through the fun of their relationship. It's like fun. Watching a movie. So, and we were in touch. We, as in you.
We were in touch.
You were in touch this weekend for a minute. But I think it's out of character of what you would think of me, right? 100%. Like, if you think of all your besties, I'm probably the least likely that would support that situation.
100%. You and my cousin. Tiff supports whatever. I'm like, Tiff,
she's
I'm
like,
doing
whatever,
this.
you can
and
do
I
that.
can say Tiff's name is fine.
Okay.
But Tiff supports whatever. But yeah, he
this one's fun for me.
He's so fun. He's a good time.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
But I have to say I'm super proud of you, because I think through all of it, I remember in the beginning, how am I going to do this? I don't think I can do it. What about the girls? They're not going to be okay. Like, you had so many insecurities, and
I still have insecurities.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, no, but I think from then till now, I think all of us would agree, all of us fiveys, the fiveys, whatever you want to call us.
I'd like to call them
the board. The board of directors. You have grown and become so strong and independent. And I do believe, I mean, if you've listened to this podcast, and if you haven't, you can go back and hear the ones, like, I have been through 2 other marriages. And I think that it wasn't until I stopped worrying about everyone else and I really focused on me that I was able to be good for me. And I think that that's your biggest strength.
I've gotten there.
Yeah.
I think I finally am like.
I agree. I think that you're good with yourself. I mean, everybody's got insecurities. That's fine. Yeah. Whatever. It's fine. But you can sleep alone, and you're not needing someone else. You are comfortable. You live in the house with your girls.
I hang with
whether they're here or not. You go by yourself to, have a glass of wine or to the pool or whatever. And I think that's liberating. And I think that only when you can be good with yourself can you be good for anybody else. And I think whoever you do meet, maybe you'll meet your person tomorrow, and maybe you won't meet your person for a long time, but you'll be in the right place when you do. 100%. That they will get the best version of you, and hopefully they've done the same for themselves.
No, I won't find anybody that hasn't done.
You're not going to settle, right, girl?
I have boundaries, and I'm not settling. No.
Well, and I'm proud of you, because for your girls, I mean, obviously it's always hard. I talked to the girls this morning. I mean, my parents divorced after the same amount of years as you and yours did. And it sucks. It sucks to have to be, choose a place for the holidays and all the things that suck. It sucks. But at the same time, I think that you also set a standard and example for them. And I hear a lot of respect in them. I mean, obviously they love both of you, but you have to separate, like, they have to separate you because you are not a couple anymore. So they look at you and respect you, and I think that they'll make better choices in life because of how you have chosen. And then, they know what to look for. They know what they don't want. And they love their dad, and that's great, as they should. I love my dad too, and I had to find that place where I could have a relationship with him, no matter what his choices were, and same with my mom.
Right.
And so they're doing it a little younger than me, but I'm really proud of them. They're strong. They're a great little sisterhood. They're so cute. They're so cute. I wish I was
part of it.
I know you do. They know you
do you have anything to
do.
say?
But they're adorable. So anyways, super proud of you. So happy that we are connected so
I love you so much.
I love you too. And this is fun.
miss
And
you
I'm super
tomorrow.
proud. I know it sucks when we have to part ways, but
It's
we'll
okay,
be
next
together.
month.
Oh yeah,
gonna
next
be
month.
home
And then
for
the
my
month after, we'll
birthday.
be totally fine.
We're going back to Siesta.
Yeah.
Shout out Siesta.
Yes, we're coming for you. And she's coming for her birthday. Well, actually, Gianna has a softball tournament, and then we're going to celebrate
So we're
Gianna's
gonna
birthday
celebrate
next
her
month.
birthday.
So I'll update you on that. Fun time. We're sweating because I had to turn all the air in the. It's Georgia. It's 90 degrees and
90%
light outside
humidity.
at 9 p.m. So anyway, but we're gonna wrap it up, you guys. Thank you so much for
Yeah. Thanks. This
coming
was
out of your
fun.
comfort zone and doing this. I told you were gonna
Story
be
of my
fine.
life. Come
Gianna
out of
knew
my
you were gonna be
comfort zone.
fine. I know. We knew you were gonna do great. All right. Well, we talked about a lot of covering chaos with humor and heart today. We had a lot of laughs and a lot of heart. That's not all. We'll be back next week. I'll be back in Temecula with Rhonda and Tracy, and we'll be back with whatever we're going to talk about next week. Tune in and make sure you follow us. I'll post pictures of Gina and I all over Bumbershoot Charity on Instagram. Look at, she's shocked. So the girls are like, do you listen? I said, no, she doesn't listen.
I do listen,
She
but
doesn't
I don't
listen.
know what pictures you're going to post.
Gianna,
Can I approve?
didn't you quiz her and say,
She said,
Mom,
give me 5 episodes.
3 episodes, right? Gianna, do you want to shout out your, Gianna's going to do a commercial real quick. Gianna, do a commercial
For what?
for your rap.
Oh, go shop Naked Grips. For really cool and
Gianna,
cute
I'm giving
grips.
you the microphone, and this is what I get from you.
You have to explain what it is.
Gianna got sponsored by Naked Grips.
It's fun and colorful batting grips.
I'm a really big
Because she's a
softball player.
softball girl.
I'm a softball player.
Wow, what happens when you put them on the spot? All of a sudden they clam
Hi,
up.
girls, we don't know. We need Jenna here. Jenna
write us a
helps
script.
us.
All right. Well, Gianna, is there anything else you want to say?
Thanks for watching.
Well, they're not watching; they're listening. But
Thanks for listening.
all right.
Bye.
Bye. We'll talk to you guys next week.